It's one of those books. Lots of books do this. I mean, this is why we like comic books. Me and you. But it's one of those books that feels like you're watching a movie. You know what I mean? Like you're watching
Yeah.
the pages.
It's almost
coming to
historical.
life. Yeah.
Still photography
For sure.
in museums and stuff like that.
Even within its own context.
Yeah.
Even like not even in the context of comics that we respect Alex Ross, but even within the context of Alex Ross, some of his work needs to be preserved. Like, the Kingdom Come definitely, you know what I mean? But like a lot of these should be preserved. And Kingdom Come is a great example of like masterful work because you can read that, or I can read that, and you know how I feel. And so about the role of superheroes and stuff like that. So I don't agree with the book, and it still gives me goosebumps when I read it. Those moments that you're supposed to agree with and feel the goosebumps are so good that even though I disagree and I'm like, what are you doing? Like, I'm still like, I still get goosebumps because that's Superman.
Yeah.
That's Superman.
No one else could do that.
That's
book.
Superman.
No one else
could
do that book. A book that Kingdom Come being a very serious book.
It'd be wrong.
It would be wrong.
They would do it wrong.
It would be. I mean? Yeah. No, you can't get like a Mark Bagley, who I love, Frank Miller.
No.
No. No
People
one else
would be offended. Like nothing would be different. But that's what's so funny. Is that nothing would be different. Let's say. Like writing wouldn't be different. The panels wouldn't be different. But if they were in the style of Bagley or in the style of Miller, I bet people would take offense, or feel attacked. When you say a comment that's like nonchalant, but someone feels triggered because they have something going on in their own life. I feel like those books, and mixed with Bagley's art or Miller's art, would do something like offend somebody.
Probably.
Jim Lee maybe not, right? Not be offensive, but it still wouldn't be right.
No, not
You know
right,
what I
no.
mean?
Yeah.
Even though that fool's amazing, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You put Liefeld there, it's still not it's still not right. You know
No,
what I
you
mean?
can't do
You
life.
do it.
Oh my god, I actually kind of want to see that.
Yeah.
Rob Liefeld presents Kingdom Come.
It would be ridiculous.
All the pouches, because they kind of have those pouches in King, like Magog has the pouches and everything.
does, yeah,
And
he
before we keep talking about the comic book stuff,
do it.
we forgot to intro the show.
We did. We did.
That's what I'm telling you. Read comic books, guys. My name is Julius.
I didn't even know we were recording.
Yeah,
So I really didn't. So
my name is Julius, and I'm here joined by someone you would definitely know the voice of, especially if you've been listening to the classic Goat Movie podcasts that have been uploading this past year. It is Daniel.
Hey,
how are you, Daniel?
I'm doing well. Thank you for having me on.
Of course.
I'm glad to be back. Always love podcasting with you. The homie, and you guys are doing great things. Goat Podcast, Blu-ray Angel. You know, your toy photography is coming up. So it's lots of exciting stuff. Glad to be on. Thank you.
Yeah, well, I know when we talk about comic, I mean, everyone just got a taste of what it's like.
I'm serious. I really didn't even know we were recording. So that was it was even more natural than natural.
Yeah.
You know, like we're always natural. You know, in general, like that's just what we do. But I didn't even know the record button was recording, so like that was even more natural.
That's the key. That's the key to a podcast. Don't tell them.
Yeah, right.
It started.
It started exactly.
You know.
Exactly.
So Daniel, when it comes to comic books,
right?
Plenty of people know this already, but what's your history? How long you've been reading? You know, what do you love? What do you hate?
So I was born in '85.
Right.
Comics, although they were big within their own community then, it was its own community. It wasn't like how it is now, where it's cool to be an MCU fan. It's cool to like superheroes and know about them and stuff like that. It wasn't like that. Like in my group of friends, even though everybody knew the general, Captain America, Batman, all boys knew that, I was like the comic book guy in my group, and in my friend group. Maybe there's like another kid or two that you could talk to here and there, and then we were also viewed a certain way, right? I was into sports, so I got friends like that. But sometimes I would find the one other comic nerd, and he would be my friend, but he wouldn't have like his friend, like he'd have like a friend or two, you know what I mean? And then I'd be like, okay, now I'm done talking to you and then hanging out with you, and then I'm going back to my sports friends or my buddies, because that was just the time. Like comic books was just not how superheroes weren't
Yeah.
as big as they were now. And actually in the 90s they went in deficit. That's when Marvel started selling off all their rights,
And you get like the really flashy different ways of selling, like the holographic covers and stuff, the new number ones.
they started that you know,
Which has kept up.
it has kept up. And you know, thanks to that dip,
Yeah.
we got characters like Carnage, you know, you know, we got Spawn, we
Yeah.
got Venom,
The-
you know.
we even got iconic storylines like Death of Superman. You know, even though it's a ridiculous storyline, it is iconic at this point.
It's so iconic.
I
It was
think it's
kinda
actually
iconic.
the 30th anniversary. Actually,
It is, and
Yeah.
it was iconic. All right, now you're making me feel old, dude. Because I
Hey man, I'm sorry, man. You know what makes you feel old? Them trying to re-release it for the
Oh,
30th
my
anniversary.
goodness.
Not me saying.
tell me about it.
Yeah.
Because I used to get the re-releases and be like, oh man, I can only imagine when it really came out.
Yeah.
And like now we're getting re-releases of comics
Yeah.
that came out when I was a kid, and I'm like, oh my god, like
Yeah.
we're at that point,
Yeah.
like the re-releases of my age, you know. I remember for Death of Superman going to stand outside of lines and then them running out of the comic,
Yeah.
and then not being able to get it. My dad taking me all around freaking LA to finally find one. I forgot where we found it. Was it Eagle Rock or something? It was Eagle Rock, I believe. But they had,
At the comic store there.
I think it was the comic store that's still there. It's
comics
still
and versus toys, I
there.
think.
Yeah,
I think that's what it's called.
And there's
Yeah.
another one right there. I've seen I
On
think
Colorado?
on the same block.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like a block down.
Okay.
Uh,
Oh, it's like a card place, right?
Yeah.
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 Across the street.
Across the street,
Yeah,
yes. And so I went there, and I remember going there. It was open, and the workers were kind of hanging out. There was
Yeah.
nobody shopping. It was just the workers. And then me and my dad walk in, and I was already bummed. We had already gone to so many comic stores, and like it was already sold out. And we get there, and I tell the guy the story, like, hey, like I'm looking for the Death of Superman. It's sold out everywhere. Like, what the heck, man?
Yeah.
Or like the copies I find in places are damaged. Like, do you have a new copy, like a brand new copy, you know? And my dad, you know, I'm lucky enough to have one that was like, I'm gonna take time out of my day,
Yeah.
drive you around so you can go find this comic. And I'm sure after like the sixth one, he was like, oh my god, like we're not gonna find this. But
Sure,
he kept
yeah.
taking me around. Finally we found one, or we didn't even find it because they had sold out too.
Mm-hmm.
But I guess they had extras in the back, and the guy like saw it, and I was like bummed out. Like I could tell that he was like, nah, you know, like I don't know. And then he's like, you know what, we have some in the back, you know, let me pull one out. It was like,
Is it some they were saving for
I
like
think
the
they
next
were saving
day?
for the next day,
Yeah.
or for themselves, you know, or something. They were saving it for something.
Yeah.
He didn't explain it to me.
Yeah.
But he was just like, you know what? Let me go to the back. I'll go see what I can do. And he's like, here's a copy of it. And I was like,
Oh, that's
what
cool.
the heck? And I loved it. And then that was really awesome. That was really fun.
Yeah.
But I think what you asked me how I started reading comics.
Yeah.
I started reading comics because my first language was Spanish. So my dad being Chilean, you know, he was a Chilean citizen at the time, and my mom spoke Spanish too. We spoke Spanish at my house, and I was in a Hispanic community, so I could speak Spanish at least in kindergarten here and there. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
you could get away with it, as long as you understood what was going on,
Yeah.
which I did, you know, so it was fine. But obviously I needed to learn how to speak English pretty fast,
Of course,
you know?
yeah.
And my dad was like, the fastest way to learn how to speak English is, I mean, obviously learn and read, but read comics, because that's how people speak, you know? You read books and they're, you know, you're either going to have like Dr. Seuss nursery rhyme
Yeah,
stuff,
yeah.
or you're going to have like actual grammar English, you know what I mean? Which is fine. Is you need to learn that as well, right? But my dad wanted me to learn how to speak English, so, you know, and he learned through TV and reading comics, I guess, and all that stuff. So he was like, here, read comics. And in no time, I started learning how to speak English and
Yeah.
the way people speak English also. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
The little phrases. And
the little
nuances
phrases and
everything.
the humor and
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I got really into it really quick and learned really fast, but I got addicted to the comics, you know?
Yeah.
Before I didn't realize that I was learning English. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I
yeah.
didn't even realize. I
It's
was
hidden in there,
It's
right?
hidden in
Yeah.
there, and I was just having fun going. into a different world every time I jumped into a comic. And because back then we didn't have superhero movies.
No.
So when I wanted to get my fix on my superhero imagination, I had to go to a comic, you know? And when I would read the comics, those panels in my mind, each panel was coming off the page to me. Like I was in the panel, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's still, even how I read comics, like I really let my mind go into what I'm reading, you know, and really focus. So I'm having like a 4D experience, you know?
Yeah.
Like trying to have a mental virtual experience when I'm reading these comics, you know,
Yeah.
or reading anything for that matter. But yeah, reading comics was my first love. And so, and still, and now, you know, online or with the comics I have, I try to read at least 1 to 3 comics a day. Like I try to at least read 1 a day, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
They take seconds. So like, like I can read 1 a day. It's fine. You know, it's okay.
Yeah.
And sometimes I read it chronologically and something I have read before millions of times. Sometimes it's something new. But yeah, to this day, I'm still a comic book reader, you know?
Well, we talked a little bit about The Death of Superman, which is a book that kind of, I don't want to say redefined Superman, but maybe redefined the way people look at him.
Right.
And it's still relevant to this day. They've
It
adapted
is.
it in films and all sorts of jazz and everything.
Right.
And I wonder if there's a comic of today that will have that type of impact or has. You know, a book that was published now that will be re-released in ways that Death of Superman is now, you know.
Well, Spawn is coming out with like the Spawn Universe series.
Right.
And I am of the belief that Todd McFarlane is a genius and
a marketing genius.
a marketing genius. And so, I mean, his book Spawn was the highest grossing independent comic book ever sold, you know, at the time. And that was what, in 90 something, 91, 92, something like that, you know. And so it blew my mind. Like when Spawn came out, I was literally like, my mind was blown. He came out with the toys. He's so smart. The little animated cartoon and then the movie, right? And I think he's trying to do the same thing since it is the new age. Since now when you say 30 years ago, I think 70s. Because I was born in 85. So like when you say that, I think the 70s, but really 30 years ago was the 90s, you know, when I was a kid, like alive already and kicking, you know what I mean? And so I think a lot of people didn't get to experience the movement that was Spawn. And so he's being really smart about creating a buzz, starting with the comics while releasing new toys. I don't know if you've seen the new toys for
I've
Spawn.
seen some of them. Like,
they're really dope.
The Western
Oh
one, the
my
King
goodness.
one.
Yeah, the gunslinging Spawn.
Gunslinger
like,
Spawn.
dude. Oh my goodness. The toys
Trying to make
are
that
ridiculous.
movie
Yeah,
with Jamie Foxx.
and trying to make the movie with Jamie Foxx. And so I feel like he's doing the same steps. He's just kind of trying to recreate the movement that was Spawn in the 90s for the kids of today. And it's just kind of hard because in the 90s we didn't have so much content being thrown at us. So it's kind of a difficult movement. I don't know if it'll be the same type of powerful movement that it was, but
because
that's something I'm paying attention to, you know?
Well, in terms of film, which is the main source, I guess, of income when it comes to viewership, right? Like when it comes to comic culture, most people who are involved, quote unquote, watch the films. And the films dominate what happens in the books.
True.
You know, so
now,
back then,
now they do.
now they do.
Yeah, now they do.
And back then, Marvel and DC were kind of at a lower point in terms of quality and viewership and readership.
They were.
And then Image comes along.
Yeah.
And they come from writers and artists from both Marvel and DC. They
That's
combine because they're sick of the big guys' shit.
Yeah.
And they make their own books. And Spawn, it was Spawn the premiere book for Image?
Yeah. Yes.
Right.
I believe
So
it was.
you got this whole thing where things are kind of dead.
Yes.
Now things aren't really that dead. Things are really happening, even though people are more critical of Marvel these days.
Right.
In terms of the MCU and stuff.
And I knew that was going to happen. I knew
it was going to happen.
It was going to happen eventually. Yeah.
Eventually.
Yeah. Especially because of the quality that they're releasing things at. Like eventually, we're going to be like, hey, you. You know, it's like if you watch the UFC, for like UFC fans out there.
Yeah.
If you're a Valentina Shevchenko fan or like a John Jones fan or like these uber dominant guys, you know what I mean? if they lose a round, like one round, like Khabib or something, like who's undefeated, right? These guys lose one round, and then people start saying, this is his downfall. This is his downfall. Oh my God, the worst performance we've ever seen. And it's like still a flawless performance compared to everyone else, but we're comparing this to their greatness, that is their consistent greatness. And I feel like I told you long ago when Avengers came out, I was like, dude, if these guys keeping this up, eventually they're gonna keep keeping this up, but that won't be enough. It'll be like, well, this is the same quality of greatness. I'm only getting goosebumps once in the movie. Why am I not getting goosebumps like 4 or 5 times like I was in Avengers? What the heck? You know what I mean? And so, and I think they're keeping up with that standard of continuing to build up for more goosebumps. I mean, No Way Home was, you know, it's had its issues, but geez, man,
that's a whole other animal compared to what Phase 4 has been. You know, there's nothing, in my opinion, nothing is touching that. Nothing is touching that. I'm gonna give a little bit of room for the Black Panther film coming out because I feel like that movie, it looks great. Yeah, it does look great. It has a real life, a real life tie to it. That is really sentimental for a lot of people. So I'm giving it some room. If that can be the best of Phase 4, I feel like it will overall redeem itself. Because I like quite a bit of what's come out. It's just a few things I have issues with.
And it's not so much the quality of... right. So if we're talking about overall quality, there's the films like Thor Love and Thunder is okay, you know, it's whatever. And nothing is absolute trash, but, you know, because Marvel just doesn't do that, you know? But, like, I know you like the Eternals. I did like it. Yeah, you liked it. But, like, for me, that's exactly what I'm actually with the Eternals. When it comes to the Eternals, I am who I just explained right now, like a minute ago. I am because if I never knew what Marvel was, right, and there was never an MCU film, and I saw the Eternals, someone was like, "Hey, look at these Eternals," and called them the Cosmics or something. You know what I mean? Nothing tied to the Marvels, or to Marvel. I would watch it and I'd be like, "This is decent." This is decent. This is not my favorite movie of all time, but it's a blockbuster, and it checks all the boxes. It checks all the boxes. Yeah. But for me, now that is like they check all the boxes is too, like, I had already been thinking the MCU is formulaic, you know, or has at least a formula. The Eternals to me embodies what that means.
Oh, that's interesting.
It embodies what that means when people say the MCU formula.
You know, I have a different example of what is the example of the formula. And it would be the last Thor film that came out.
No, see, I know where you're going with this, and I know why it leans that way. But I would say no, because that's not the norm.
What isn't?
A movie like Thor Love and Thunder, like yes, they do jokes. Yes, they do jokes. Yeah. But nowhere near like Thor Love and Thunder. The normal Marvel movie has as many jokes as the Eternals, which had like a handful of jokes in it, but it wasn't a comedy like Ragnarok or Love and Thunder. Not even as funny as Ragnarok, right? But you know,
well, I feel like they doubled down.
That's what I'm trying to say.
With the humor,
but that's what I'm trying to say. Eternals didn't double down on anything. That's what I mean. They just checked the boxes of what we want. Like we got superhero thoughts. We got everything. They didn't go hard on any one thing. You know what I mean? Like they just did everything safe. Everything was very safe, so it wasn't a bad movie. It's not a bad.
No, I don't think it's bad at all.
You know, and I'd watch it. I'd watch it again, but you know, it's you know, that's what I'm saying. I don't hate on the movie.
No, you're like, talking about the film itself in terms of what has to happen.
Yeah,
whereas
exactly,
what I'm talking about
is
with Thor. Let's say in terms of the formula, it feels like there is no progression other than goofiness. They exceeded in the goofiness of Ragnarok.
Yes.
And for me, that feels like a formula in that, okay, so Ragnarok worked a lot for people. Right. Let's just escalate that tone. Yeah. And for me, that didn't work too much.
Same. I agree.
I'm one of these rare people that actually really likes the first Thor film a lot. Like I really like that. Rewatching it before Love and Thunder, which was a movie I was really excited for. Like,
me too.
I especially after watching Jojo Rabbit. Okay. Like I thought that was the best blend of something that's really funny but also really
Dark and heavy.
heartbreaking,
Right,
you know,
right.
like really just somber at some
right,
points.
right.
So I thought it was going to be in the tone of something like that.
It could have been.
It could have been, and I feel like it should have been when you have characters like
Bale and Gore. I mean, it's one thing to have one of the most ruthless characters ever, but it's another thing to have one of the best actors of all time playing him, and then you don't have him on the screen.
Don't do anything with him.
So what you imply his name is Gore the God Butcher, not the Gore God Clown. Like, he's Gore the God Butcher, and we saw no butchering in the movie. We saw nothing of what the villain does. So in that, but see, that's checking the box, that formulaic box. Like, where's the villain? Like, you know, and in Eternals, that's what I'm saying. Like, the villain, like, what? Like, I didn't really care. He was just there for the Eternals to fight.
He was there, but there was something, because I rewatched it, and there is a parallel there that they're trying to establish between him and because the movie's about creation, right? You know, the movie is about what we are and what we're meant to be.
Of course.
So there was something that could have been more interesting with that character, because he's a deviant that grows consciousness and everything. But for me, the antagonist was Icarus.
Right.
I love that. I love that aspect of the film. But can I pitch you
the
first a rewrite of the first 10 minutes of Thor: Love and Thunder.
Of Thor: Love and Thunder.
Yeah. Something that I think would have helped it.
Wait. So, okay, wait.
Hold on, bruv.
Wait. Yeah, hold on, bruv, okay? And the only reason why I'm saying this, okay, is hold on, bruv. Because, the first 5 minutes, like, if I would change something there, but in terms of the darkness and the whatever, there's a few things that I would change also. So I'm curious to see if your rewrites would have what I would change.
All right.
But the reason I'm pausing is because you start with child death.
Yeah.
You start the movie with child death.
Yeah.
And so you're kind of tricking the viewer into thinking like, dude, because that's the rule, right? In movies, you kill a kid, and then in the movie, and now you're establishing to the viewer, we can go as far as we want now.
Yeah.
You know, we just killed a kid, so there is nothing else.
They don't.
But they don't.
But they don't go that
They
far.
don't. So that's why I'm even more curious to why you would rewrite the first and not the entire, like,
well,
the entire rest of
if I were able to
10
rewrite,
minutes.
I mean, the first 10 minutes would definitely imply how the rest of the movie would go. So, you know, that's set up for sure. The first 10 minutes, you need to sell people on what this movie is. And the movie is goofy. Like most people, I think, who know about Gore, they wanted something a bit more harder edged, right? They wanted something grisly. If you read that run, Thor, is it God of Thunder? Thor, God of Thunder, or the God of Kings or something?
No, it's God of Thunder. I think no, Mighty Thor, isn't it? Mighty Thor.
I think Mighty Thor is the one with Jane Foster.
That's the Jane Foster one, right? Yeah.
It's the one where you have a very Viking-esque comic
unworthy
tone.
Thor.
Yeah,
because he's not worthy there.
Yeah,
right?
It might
or is that
be
how he stopped. No,
it might be God
after.
of Thunder. It might be God of Thunder.
But, because unworthy is after, I believe, right? Because doesn't he stop him and then become unworthy?
I don't remember honestly, but you would expect more of a tone like that. But I understand that Taika Waititi is a comedy primarily based director,
of course.
So you have to keep that in, you know, to keep the tone and not trick people.
That's what I'm saying. Don't get rid of the jokes. Like,
but
that's not what I'm asking for. But like, ease up a little bit. And that, you know, that's the thing is like, you know, my girlfriend was like kind of mad at the score I gave it because we walked out of the theater. You know, we went to see it on opening day or the day before or whatever. But we walked out of the theater and she was like, well, what score did you give it? And I believe I gave it like a 6.5 and out of 10. And she was like, what? Like, and she, like, kind of confused, and rightfully so, because you know, she turns over to me and she's like, dude, but like, you were laughing the entire time.
Yeah,
like,
there's
so like
stuff in there,
how are,
sure.
I was laughing. I mean, I was laughing.
Yeah,
like the goat stuff, like that was hilarious. That's funny.
Yeah,
dude, that's funny, man. I was laughing. Like, I didn't care that it kept doing it.
Yeah,
it wouldn't make sense that it didn't keep doing it. So because I mean, what, they're not screaming now? Like, they're screaming goats, so they're gonna scream throughout the whole movie. So it's hilarious.
I even enjoyed the part with Zeus.
You enjoyed that part.
I did. Yeah,
Okay.
I heard that.
Yeah.
I heard what you just said. I did enjoy it.
Okay.
But let me.
I'm proud of it.
And I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah. People are just gonna comment links to Twitter posts of comparing the Snyder Cut Zeus to the Love and Thunder one. Have you seen that?
They're just gonna comment unsubscribed.
That's fine. They should just unsubscribe.
Yeah, they don't need to listen to it.
So the first 10 minutes,
Uh-huh.
I like the opening with Gore. You know,
Okay.
you see the struggle and everything. You see the father and daughter and everything.
Right.
Him meeting up with that god. All that's fine. He
Okay.
kills his first god, right?
Yeah, right.
But then you use the remainder of, because that's like what, 5 minutes, 4 to 5 minutes, I think. Use the rest of that 5 minutes to show him actually traveling over the eons, because we don't know how long this has been going on.
In the books, it's eons.
In the books, it's eons,
Yeah,
but in the
yeah.
movie, they don't even really say how long this has
They
been
don't say
happening.
anything,
So you have to
man.
establish that for the rest of the 5 minutes,
Yeah.
right? And what happens is you show him killing. You could have different types of gods.
So a
and
montage
everything.
of
a montage
of
essentially,
butchering.
but you see him become more and more disfigured
Oh.
as it goes on. You see him
Yeah.
become more blackened and everything. You could see it like that black and white planet. You could see the destruction of it from a colorful place to a dark place. That,
Right.
That he's appropriate, because
Right,
that's what
right.
he does. He infects things.
Right.
And then what happens specifically to set up a better beef, because I feel like that's lacking also in the film
Yeah.
between Thor and Gore.
True.
What you do is you do something similar to the comic books, where he's on a planet and he's looking for a god that's about to. It's like, let's say it's the god of hatred. Let's just say for argument's sake,
Whatever.
Right? He's looking for that god. He's heard about it. He's coming in. And he's killing people in the way, you know, he's hunting this god. But you hear at that point big impacts, big punches and everything. And then you hear the sound of thunder.
Yeah.
And at that point you see a younger Thor in the distance from the perspective of Gore. You see that Thor fighting this god of hatred and killing him, beating him, you know. And he could be goofy because he's in the distance. He's not in Gore's world yet.
Right.
But you see Thor take this god out, and you see that the gods took away, what Gore's thinking is, the gods took away my daughter and they took away my purpose. And that ignites a better conflict between the two characters, between the protagonist and the antagonist. You know, you have a darker opening establishing why this guy is a threat, because throughout he's joking around, you know, he's like, he almost feels like the Joker at some points.
Yeah.
You know,
yeah,
and
there are some moments.
it's just like, I'm not scared by him.
Yeah.
You
True.
want a villain coming after, if your protagonist is not taking anything really seriously,
Right.
you need an antagonist who fucking hates him for that.
Yeah, right.
And is coming after him. Because at that point, it would make sense why Thor and the Asgardians would be the first on his list when the conflict really starts in the first act. You know what I mean? So that's what I would want to, I would have liked to have seen. You know, I think that would have been cool.
Well, I think it would have been something, and they gave us nothing. So like it would have been something.
Yeah.
So that's cool. And again, like Love and Thunder is not something that I hated. You know,
I don't hate it.
but
I just underwhelmed by it.
yeah, underwhelmed. I thought that. I heard that they took out a scene where Gore is like taking pieces of his skin off. That's where he got those scars. He's like, like cutting himself, but they took the scene out, and so then it's
freaky.
like, what? Yeah, it'd be freaky, but you either lighten up on the comedy, or like you said, balance it out somewhere else.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But like, and that's what I'm saying. Or else, you know, like if I'm to have some sort of say in it, and like I'm just saying, I feel that would have been better. Like if you are gonna go so heavy on the jokes, which again I laughed.
Yeah.
But if you haven't seen the movie, spoiler alert, but they have this weird like relationship thing with the Hammers, you know, and like the Hammers are like jealous of each other, and they
all of a sudden have these personalities.
Yeah, they all of a sudden have these personalities, and Thor is like playing them like side chicks, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like that's funny. I thought that was a funny concept, you know? I thought that's funny. But okay, let's say this movie didn't exist. Right?
Yeah.
If Chris Hemsworth visited or hosted SNL, that's something I would see on there.
Yeah,
and
it's something
so
you'd expect.
I would
right?
expect and see. I mean, what else? That's hilarious.
Yeah.
That makes sense, and it would be something that you would totally make sense on SNL. Like even people that love Love and Thunder can't disagree with that. That is
Yeah.
something that you would see on SNL, like, and it would be totally natural. Like, we wouldn't, if Love and Thunder didn't exist and Chris Hemsworth went to SNL to host, that's one of the skits for sure, hands down. Someone's writing a skit where the Stormbreaker is the side chick and Mjolnir is like the main chick. Like, that's going to be on there. So I don't want my movie
actual film,
the
right?
actual film shouldn't be playing like what the parody would be playing out like. Maybe a scene or two, but not the whole movie.
It's literally like,
you know?
it's the transition, and I've been feeling this since Ragnarok, because you know, I've always been fine with Thor to be more dramatic,
right?
But it would be like James Bond all of a sudden saying "Shagadelic baby."
Yeah,
that's literally what it would be
same
like.
Thing.
Yeah,
it's the same thing. That's the same thing. It just wouldn't. It just doesn't. It's not where I want the character to go.
No,
you know?
and it's funny you said that SNL thing, because Chris Hemsworth did host, and he did do a Thor sketch where it's like they beat Ultron and they're celebrating his news report, and he's in the back. He's acting like he is in these films.
Yeah,
now, because it was when Age of Ultron came out, and he was more serious and everything. But
so
now
that was a parody.
This was literally the prelude to the Thor we have now. You know, where he's like going all crazy, he's drinking beer and everything. He's like, listen to my podcast. Like, he's saying that type of shit. I don't know if you've seen it.
No, I haven't.
But if you watch it, it's interesting
because now it's like the Thor now.
Yeah, and I feel like Chris Hemsworth has always wanted to
play him like that. Yeah. So I heard I was listening to an interview that he did.
Yeah.
And he said that, and so that's why it's kind of like I feel bad not liking it, because like he's in this interview and he's saying, this is how I've always wanted to play Thor, and now I get to play him how I feel like Thor is naturally, like he himself feels Thor should be played. And he was saying, this is the most fun I've ever had playing Thor. So like, man,
I mean, that's cool and everything,
that's cool,
but I don't want that to dilute the stakes of any given situation.
Right.
Like, I like that Thor, but I like him in the appropriate context.
Yeah, right.
And I feel like the best example of that type of Thor, the Thor that is, you know, kind of goofy but can get very serious, is in Infinity War and Endgame.
Oh yeah,
like,
yeah,
I thought
definitely.
That was it.
Definitely.
That was it. You know what I mean? And again, Love and Thunder is fun. I love that moment, the Van Damme moment with the splits and everything.
Again,
that's funny,
but that's like
everything.
A commercial. That's that's what I'm saying. Like, that's hilarious.
Yeah.
And right when you see it, you're like, oh my god, this is freaking funny. This is so funny.
Yeah.
But it plays like something you'd see on a commercial, like that. Like,
it kind of looked like a commercial.
It did.
If you added like the Audi logo,
right under
corner,
it, it would
like,
make sense. I thought it was gonna be like a preview, like this was just a joke, you know, and then the whole movie was a joke, you know. And so, you know, that's what I'm telling you. Like, my girlfriend was like, you were laughing literally from the beginning, from the splits moment to the very end, you know, you were laughing the entire time. So
you were especially laughing during the cancer scenes. Like, you were especially laughing at that point, which was really that was kind of weird, dude. You know, someone should film someone laughing at that moment and DM it to Taika Waititi. Is this what you
wanted?
Like, honestly, because the scenes are kind of played up like that.
They are kind of. They make jokes about it. Like, Thor's making jokes. Like, you know, I don't know. And again, it's fine. I just feel like earlier, you know, with Thor, Dark World, even Infinity War, you know, those comedic situations that happened with Thor were more because he didn't understand the situation, because it's more not that he's like a dumbass in everything, you know. It's more that he's just a fish out of water. He's an Asgardian from like a magical realm.
He's not human.
He's not human. Understand these things. So the jokes he doesn't get, so he'll say something. He's fish out of water. Not so much like Drax, where Drax's species is like a logical species or like a literal species or something like that. Everything is literally, so like that's different. That explains his.
I'm surprised they didn't capitalize that when the Guardians were there.
Yeah, right.
You know?
They seem kind of like they were just throwaway, you know.
That's a whole other discussion.
That's a whole nother discussion.
That was disappointing.
Yeah, that was disappointing.
Look, James Gunn is the only one who can do those characters.
Yeah, he could do it. Yeah, I mean, he's that proved that, right? Like I you know, it just
James Gunn
wasn't
and the
same.
Russos.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
I agree. But yeah, that was something where I was like, man, yes. And I told my girlfriend, like, yes, I was laughing. It is a funny movie, but I didn't want it to be a comedy, you know? And maybe that's just my own personal preference, and I'm being one of those fans that's like, well, it wasn't the way that I wanted to, and let me push up my glasses, and I'm telling you, you know, like, I wanted it a certain way, and it wasn't, then you listen here.
The first movie's great.
exactly. Let me tell you my video essay on why it's great.
Wait,
I am in the minority opinion.
There's a way of doing it. Wait, hold on. You have to really. The first film is great.
Oh, so just your voice.
Yeah, but just a lower level. Just a lower level. That's the key to a video essay.
There you go. Yeah, exactly. But it's like, so I don't want to be one of those guys. You know what I mean? Like, oh, it wasn't the way. The director didn't go with my visual, my vision for the film.
Wouldn't answer my text.
Exactly. Didn't take my suggestions.
Yeah.
Emailed and everything. But yeah. So I don't want to be
not for me or not for you. Like, come on, man.
That's what I'm saying.
Crazy.
I'm not asking you to change it. Go ahead and don't change it. But I'm gonna keep telling you they're not for me. All right. So,
I've heard that the Ant-Man film coming out with Kang in it is a hard left turn from what Ant-Man has been, and I assume that means it would get a bit more serious and darker, bringing in a character like Kang.
The first one kind of plays a little heavy. You know, it's light, but like it has heavy themes. You know what I mean?
Like the family and the strain of family and everything.
Exactly. Yeah.
Those are family films.
Yeah.
From what I understand, this next film, it gets a bit darker because they're headed in that direction of Kang. Yeah. As it should. Right? But
let's go.
Why is Ant-Man going to be darker than Thor? With a character called
Ant-Man?
the God Butcher.
Oh, the God Butcher versus a character called Ant-Man. Like, what? And the Wasp. I will sting you. So, like, but Gore, the God Butcher. Yeah. Like, come on, get metal with it. I guess they did get metal with it, but
at
like
some point.
Yeah, but I mean, come on, man.
Let's move on.
Let's do it
because this
will take forever. It'll turn into a
it'll
Thor
be a review.
breakdown.
It'll be a review.
Yeah.
And I don't want to review the film right now.
Cool.
But what have you been reading recently?
So like I said, I try to read a comic a day. You know,
Ty Lopez of comics.
Yeah,
I read a book a day in front of my Lamborghini.
Yeah, exactly. I have problems. No, I just read them because, like I said, they're so fast, you know, and I like them anyway. So it's not. It takes like 2 seconds on your phone to read a comic, you know, or pick one up from your own rack or box or whatever, and then read it real quick. But what I've been reading now, I wanted to reread the Sandman because of the Netflix show. I just finished the show.
Neil Gaiman's Sandman.
Yeah. So I wanted to reread it. There's a lot of shots in the show that were exact shots from the comic, and I know Netflix does that, but I feel like this show did it well.
The comic's a trip, man.
It's a trip. It's a trip, and the show's a trip too. It's a good show. I liked it. You know, I don't want to spoil anything.
Because I haven't watched it.
Yeah. So I don't want to spoil anything or even say my issues with it.
Okay.
Because that might
be a spoiler.
Not a spoiler for the story, but it'll be a spoiler in terms of like now you're expecting
a
certain thing at a certain point, and I don't want to do that to people. So like just watch it, and it's good. It's a good production, you know. It's a good production, so
I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah. So that's something I just watched, I guess. But read. Let's see. What did I just read? I just reread the first volumes of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Oh, okay, the original ones.
Yeah, the original ones.
You have like the omnibuses.
No. So the first one you have to. I read it online.
Oh, okay.
Because that's one that's. I think I have like a really damaged one, but I don't read that one. I don't. That one I have read online, but the one I read are the volume 2, volume 3, volume 4, volume 5, like, and you know, and then all the other volumes that came out after. But those are interesting. I just wanted to read it because of the new Netflix movie I think came out, or Hulu
Yeah,
movie or
I
something.
heard about it. It's
Yeah.
like the Rise of the Turtles.
The
or
Rise of the
something?
Turtles. Yeah. So I wanted to see that, and then so I was I wanted to reread some of the original stuff. I always refresh them, but I'm a Turtles fanatic. I mean, I was born in '85, so like right when that. I was like caught for my age group, for my time period. I had turtle mania, man. Turtle power, turtle everything.
Yeah.
Like, and we did. I forgot about that. Me and Julius here.
What?
We debate about the '90s movie because
Well, you know what? We do debate about it.
yeah, we do.
But
But
I rewatched it. I think last year, recently, fairly recently, I rewatched the original Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the movie.
Okay.
And I did like it.
Yeah,
I did like it. I thought it was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
I like that there are dark elements to it.
I told you. And they wanted to get darker with it. If
I
they would have
bet,
just let them go
It would've
with
been
it, it would have been so good.
Yeah.
So good. The ideas they wanted to put in and just expand on what they showed, but kind of expand on those ideas. Oh my God, it would have been a masterpiece.
It's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Casey Jones is really cool in it.
So cool.
I tried watching Secret of the Ooze, and I was just like, I can't.
Oh, you couldn't do it with that one?
Do it,
Oh,
man. I
my-
mean, it's because it's so much of the cartoon.
Okay.
You know,
okay.
like the
Yeah,
first
yeah.
the opening scene of
yeah.
them, and Jacob, my friend Jacob, was the first one to show it to me years back.
I see.
Of them in the mall, like the kids being chased and stuff in the mall,
That's,
and they literally just run into frame in the background.
It's
they
sick.
jump.
They jump and they freeze. Come on.
That's a commercial.
They freeze.
But then
and
there's
the logo comes out and ooze. Is it oozing on the screen? Come on, dude! And they fight in freaking
it's ridiculous. Like
in a
the
mall?
scene where
Oh, I
he
love
pretends
it.
to be
To
the thing you punch, the clown you
Oh
punch,
my
and it
God.
goes back and forth.
That I was dying in that part. That's hilarious. He's
You went
literally
from-
an inflated balloon, and he's like.
That's going from Infinity War to Love and Thunder.
Oh,
that's what
come
that
on.
is. Like he literally looks at the camera, is like, yeah. Like what the?
I again, time period and age. Like
You were older at that point.
I was a little bit older, but I still saw it in theaters. And I saw it several times in theaters. It was fucking amazing. I loved it. And there was Vanilla Ice.
Oh my God.
Give it to me. Give it to me. What are you dude,
it's because of that film.
Ninja.
He has
rap,
to.
Ninja.
No, dude.
Ninja.
It's
rap.
because of that film. He has to claim he owns the rights to Under Pressure.
Okay, look.
That's why.
Ice Baby. Ninja Rap. Best hits. Vanilla
No, see,
Ice.
my
That
version
foot,
goes.
that foot.
Ding, 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 ding.
Yeah.
Theirs goes. Ding, 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 ding. Ding, 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 ding,
So Ninja Rap is actually his first original song. So come on, that's like
Great.
let's go.
I'll see him in an Adam Sandler film. You know,
Dude, the Turtles go up and perform Ninja Rap with Vanilla Ice. Do you look on paper what I just said? Like, does that happened? Like, it sounds like amazing on paper, right? And
yeah, it sounds great. Yeah, you know, I saw
And
that
then-
shit in Jay and Silent
then
Bob
we-
Strikes Back at the end with the time.
Don't even get me started on the time. Dude, the time is great. And you better not even speak anything bad about the time, Morris Day and the time. You get out of here.
I'm not speaking shit about it. I'm just saying you went from something that we can agree on to something with Vanilla Ice in it.
Again,
that's what happened.
Again, 80s and time period, Vanilla Ice is in my top 10 MCs. So like
He did outsell. He
I'm
did
just
outsell. He was one of the highest, paid.
without Vanilla Ice, we
guys
wouldn't have an Eminem. Mark my words.
Yeah,
I'm
because
just-
Eminem had to show what white people can do with rap.
Exactly.
That's what he came in.
All
and
right,
did.
guys. Second try. Let's go.
All right,
Let's
here we go.
Here we go. Yeah.
So TMNT you've been reading.
Oh yeah.
Have you been reading any of The Last Ronin? Because I want to get into that. Have you been reading any of that?
You like that is we were talking about like really impactful comics.
Yeah.
that one for me. Last Ronin, so good.
Yeah.
So good.
I've heard a lot about it.
Oh my
I've heard
goodness.
it's really good.
It's so good. You really got to read that one. If you're going to read actually, someone just showed me, my homie just texted me, and he was like, "Oh, I couldn't remember if you were the Turtle fan." And then he was like but check this out. And he showed me a shirt that he got. It says Shell Shocked, and it's like all the turtles in turtle form, but they're like skulls, you know?
Oh, okay.
And so they're like zombie turtles, you know?
Oh, that's cool.
And it says Shell Shocked, and like it's all of them in like attacking stance. And I thought, wow, that's really dope. And then I went off. He was like, "You're the Turtles fan?" And I was like, "Dude, am I the Turtles fan?" And I went off on all this shit. And then I was like, dude, on all this stuff. But I was like, dude, if you read anything Turtles right now, read Last Ronin. If you read anything Turtles, if you read anything at all, read Last Ronin. Yeah? If you know how to read English, read Last Ronin. You know what I mean? Like just read Last Ronin. Trust me.
Yeah,
it's really good. And then if you need something else extra, at least I liked it. Again, I'm biased. Some people don't like the crossovers.
Oh,
sometimes.
the Batman Turtles one.
No. Wait, I mean that. Well, the animated is actually pretty good.
Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah, it's good. It's good. You know. But no, I was gonna say the Power Rangers Turtles crossover.
Oh yeah.
Epic.
Yeah.
Epic. Ridiculous. Ridiculous. Like that. I'm super biased because those are literally like my favorite fandoms. That and He-Man, Masters of the Universe. But like Turtles, Rangers, Masters of the Universe, like I grew up on that stuff. This is like crack to me, you know what I mean? Like it was crazy. So when they finally did this crossover, and then they have the I don't want to spoil anything.
Yeah. But let's be cool.
Oh my good dude, they like what? Who's the most epic Ranger? Now think of Shredder. Like, I don't want to spoil it.
All right. Let's stop right there.
Yeah,
let's stop right there.
There's just you have to read that. So you asked me what to read. Go read that.
Yeah,
read that.
My friend Justin collects the Last Ronin. He's all about it. He's been telling me everything about it.
So
I really have to read it, man. I might borrow it from him because
you need to.
It sounds dope, you know.
It's just cool knowing that someone. I mean, obviously other people have read it, but it's cool. Like, oh yeah, like just knowing what he's read and like the goosebumps he's experienced by reading this comic, and just in the opening, like the opening issue. You know what I mean? Like the opening issue, you're like, oh, it's gonna be like this.
Oh shit! Okay.
Whoa.
Oh, you're getting me too hyped.
Yeah, it's like that, and then it just lives up to that feeling.
Yeah.
Okay, so it sets right off the bat. You're in this existence in this world that they bring you in.
Yeah.
And you kind of don't you know it's heavy because that's the atmosphere of it, but you don't know exactly what's going on, but you feel it. You feel that heavy, like, oh man, this is gonna be they're setting up for something like heavy.
Oh, Jesus.
And then like a little bit in, then you start getting more explanation, and you kind of like put pieces together, and you're like, oh,
I gotta
and then
read it.
Yeah, and you got to read it. Everybody got to read it. Just do it. Just do it. Thank me later.
One thing I actually read a couple books this past week. I read the first issue of this series that's coming out. I forgot what. It's an independent book.
Okay.
It's coming out. And I got it for $1, so it's like, hey, cool. It had pictures of Kennedy on it, so it was based kind of in the conspiracy world.
Oh, I see.
It's called the Department of Truth.
Okay.
So the idea of it is that there's this FBI teacher, like a teacher within the FBI.
Right.
I think Serpico, I believe.
Oh.
So what he does, his specialty, what he teaches his students and future agents, he teaches them about internet language.
Okay.
On the alt-right alt-right white supremacist like blogs, like, you know, whether it be 4chan or whatever.
Okay.
Like he talks about memes and everything. That's his main forte. He tells them how they correspond and how it leads to insane violence.
Cool.
And specifically conspiracy theories.
Okay.
So he's interrogated by this old guy in this, interrogation room, and he's telling him about this story that the teacher had. The teacher went to a flat Earth convention in Vegas, and because he was just kind of getting data and everything, he was learning more about it. Right.
Yeah.
But he gets called up by these white dudes, like these really rich white guys that look like they're in the Illuminati. Let's say.
Okay.
He's in a little room and stuff, and he looks at what they're watching on this projector, this old school projector of film, and they're watching the moon landing. But you see behind the astronaut coming down on the moon, you see in the distance, in the black of space, you see a guy standing there. So what it is, it's from Kubrick's collection of film. So the teacher starts getting all fucked up. He's like, if this is possible, everything else is fucked. Maybe the world is flat, right? He's starting to drink the Kool-Aid a little bit, right? And these guys, they know his, who he is, his reputation. These rich people take him to Antarctica for the ice wall, as it were, And what happens is he sees all this crazy shit, like all these lights and everything, and he's telling the story to the interrogator. And what happens is, he's told that, listen, the world isn't flat; it's round. Because all these guys are killed by the interrogator's assistant, who takes him back to the base. So he says to this teacher, he says, listen, the world isn't flat, it's round. It spins around the sun. But there is something going on in the world where when people believe enough about something, it starts to literally become real.
Whoa.
So something mystical is happening in this book. And he's hired. He's essentially hired against his will to work for the Department of Truth. And there's this crazy reveal that I kind of want to tell you, but I kind of don't want to tell you. Because the book opens up with the interrogation of back in the 60s of Lee Harvey Oswald. Whoa. So it's all about that culture. It's really cool. The last page sold me on this series. I was like, oh shit. The Department of Truth. If you're at a comic store and you see it, pick up the first issue.
I will.
It like the last page got me those goosebumps you're talking about. I was like, this is for real, you know? Kind of Men in Blackish. The art style reminds me a lot of Grant Morrison's Arkham Asylum. The original. So it's very abstract and very hand brushed and all, and very cool, almost nihilistic, you know, the way it feels like the world is ripping apart, which is appropriate for that book, right? So I would recommend that. I love that. Another book I read and picked up is Alias, Jessica Jones' Alias, the original Marvel Max series.
That's great.
Yeah, Brian Michael Bendis.
That's great.
For those who don't know, and Daniel, you can tell the people a bit about Marvel Max. It is the Rated R brand.
It's the Rated R brand. It's my favorite Punisher series.
War Journal.
War Journal. Let's go.
Warzone, I think.
Exactly. Yeah. But Marvel Max is when Marvel wanted to kind of not do what ifs, but let writers kind of go a little bit darker, let the artists go a little bit darker. And it was for that brand. So it was basically Rated R Marvel.
It was Rated R.
Rated R Marvel.
They don't censor anything. They show what happens, they show violence, have cussing in it.
Yeah, I mean, Punisher sex. At one point becomes the last man, he realizes that there's the last of humanity, because all of the earth is basically destroyed, it's the apocalypse, everyone has killed each other, and he's him in this small existence of humanity, and he knows it's the last existence of humanity. And Frank Castle, being the Frank Castle that he is, and with his belief system, he mows them all down. He kills every single one, so basically making himself the last human on the planet Earth, and then kills himself.
It would be Frank, dude.
And then kills himself.
Oh god.
So literally that's how rated that Marvel Max, literally going to the max of it, where that character could go. Yeah. And so not making it a new character, but hitting that character literally to the max.
Yes.
So that's where they went with Punisher. You know,
and Jessica Jones is a great example.
Oh, great
because,
example! It's amazing.
For those who've seen the show, it's literally that, but rated R.
But rated R.
Jessica Jones, the show is TVMA.
Right.
This is rated R.
Rated R.
You see all sorts of just vile, disgusting shit.
Really disgusting.
Jessica Jones used to, in the comics, she used to be an Avenger.
That's right.
You know, used to be an Avenger
right.
until she met the Purple Man, Kilgrave, in the show.
Yeesh.
And he's literally purple. It's kind of
Yeah.
distinct and kind of unsettling to see how he's, because the art is very real world, very grimy, very kind of nasty. You know what I mean? The way that the figures are drawn, it's really, it's kind of, I don't want to say ugly. It's just unsettling.
It's a noir show. It's a noir show, but it's a noir style story.
Yeah.
But the art definitely fits that style.
Yeah.
Like it fits that style of the grittiness of the story and the things that happen in it.
Yeah.
The art is totally appropriate. So like what you would think that is, you know.
Yeah, very real. But what gets really odd is when you see flashbacks to her life as an Avenger.
Yeah.
It's Mark Bagley doing the artwork.
Yeah.
And Mark Bagley did Ultimate Spider-Man, a lot of Spider-Man, but it's very comic booky.
Yeah,
and there's this one panel exchange that is really distinct and really just awful, where Jewel is the character, is Jessica Jones' superhero.
That's right.
Name. She fights like all these bad guys in a restaurant, and the Purple Man is just sitting there eating his dinner. Because for those who don't know, Purple Man, because of his skin color, he can tell people what to do and they'll do it no matter what. And he's just sitting there unfazed by what happened, and then he's like, "Hey, you're really beautiful. Why don't you come here?" And she does it, and it's like, "Why don't you take off your clothes?"
Yeah.
And she's like in costume, and she can't help herself.
Yeah.
You know, she does it, and it's just like
her there.
It's awful.
Yeah, it's awful.
Awful.
It's
my
so
God.
crazy.
But you have this really crazy juxtaposition of like really comic book art,
Right.
with dark shit happening.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Yeah. But yeah, you're gonna have fun with Alias. That's
Oh yeah, I love that book.
Okay, so you've read it already?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a great book. I love it.
Yeah.
And it made me love like Jessica Jones as a character. Like before, you know, you don't really know too much, but yeah, I read Alias and I was like, oh yeah, I like her. She's cool.
You brought up the Punisher, and I wanted to talk about this thing specifically before we run out of time.
Okay.
The Punisher is obviously, you know, he's a character that is justifiably in the Marvel Max books because he's insane.
Yeah, he's insane.
He loses his shit. He kills all sorts of bad guys and everything.
Yeah.
Has very real world implications,
right?
Especially lately with these days. I know you're a big Frank fan.
I'm a huge Frank fan.
You know,
and I love Frank.
We've talked all sorts about the politics of real
Frank.
world, of Frank and the real world and everything.
Of course.
I was driving the other day, and I was driving behind this truck, right? Like this pickup truck, like big muscle pickup truck and everything. I'm just driving, you know, doing my thing, and I see in the little corner, I see the little Punisher symbol with the blue line. You know, the Blue Lives Matter line.
Oh, yeah.
You know, and I don't know. It got to me for some reason, you know?
For some reason.
I mean, for all the reasons.
Yeah.
Because it's a misuse of the character.
Of course
and
it
the
is.
idea. I wanted to know what you felt about the way that, like, cops are appropriating that logo.
Yeah.
They've had to redo the logo for the Punisher in recent comics.
And and that was horrible. And
it looks lame.
Yeah. Well, it didn't. I don't know if it's gonna. I doubt it's gonna last.
That's but like, what do you do now that it's being used by these political?
You keep
factions?
using it because that's not their logo. They need to stop using. They're just using it. Okay. No, so I take that back. Because okay, like the swastika, right? I think before for ancient times it stood for the sun or something. It
was a Hindu symbol.
Okay.
Of, I believe, peace.
Okay, yeah, right. So they took it and it means something else now to the world.
Yeah.
And so now you trash it and whatever.
Yeah.
You know, but that I don't know. This is something different in that the Punisher, like the Punisher is established and it's not like you're just dumb if you're a cop and you're using it. Frank himself, I mean, I speak like he's like a actual person, but
well, he's having a real world effect.
He has.
At what point does he stop being fictitious?
Right.
Yeah.
So the character that is Frank Castle has said himself that he's talked to cops. So if cops are listening, you know, like you can like him, you know, he just doesn't stand for anything that is the badge. And he said so himself. And he doesn't. If you've read any of the comics, even if you're a Frank fan, like, I don't agree with him. Like, I'm a Frank Castle fan because I am entertained by the comics that I read. It doesn't mean that I subscribe to his code and his belief system. Like, that's his actions. What the heck? And so I don't know what cop like read his comics or any of his comics or stories and was like, yeah, this is what I do. And if that is
them right now.
Yeah, that's the helicopter.
Right,
but if a cop did do that, if a cop did read Frank Castle and think that that is his duties or they're similar in any way, then you need to stop being a police officer. Like, that's not it. That's not and Frank himself has addressed cops before, where cops
he's been a cop in some runs.
Yeah, he's
has been a cop.
That's true.
And he's not a cop anymore when he becomes the Punisher.
Right, because he's wrong, because that's wrong.
Yeah.
Like what he's doing. And so I remember he addressed police officers when he was, and they were like saying something like, "Oh yeah, we'll wear the skull," or they had the skull on their car or something like that. I forgot what it was, or on their shirt or something like that. And Frank tells them, like, take that off, and they're like, "Why? We roll with you, you know, like we back you, you know." And he's like, "No, dude, like the badge that you wear, I like oppose everything about that. Like there's none. I exist because of the failure of what I think the badge is, of and what you are, and the system that you belong to, and the uniform you wear, and everything, and your job descriptions, and your duties, and your responsibilities. I am opposed to all of that. So now you're using my skull." He's like, dude, and he says something that is totally true, and that is something that I have wondered for a long time. When he said in that comic book, he says, "Go follow someone more like Captain America. That's more your style.
That's who you
that's
should
more
aspire
you
to.
should aspire to be."
Exactly.
And he's absolutely right. I don't know why there isn't like Captain America shields on all of our police officer cop cars. You know what I mean? Like, what the heck? That would be sick. And not only is that sick, that makes sense. You oppose, you are the system. You have faith in the system. You have faith in America. You know what I mean? Like, that's what it, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
I get you. I mean,
you know, and I love Captain America. I love Steve Rogers too, because I also love America, and I love Captain America too. But
what it comes down to is Captain America, the reason they're not using his shield is because Captain America doesn't have the agenda that the system of police have. You know, Captain America is a human. I mean, with a name like Captain America, people all over the world love him because he stands for what is right, no matter what. Like, if we're looking at comics, for example, Civil War, that moment between that defined who Captain America was and the Punisher was.
Right.
When villains
oh
came
my
in
goodness.
and the Punisher mowed him down.
Oh my goodness.
Cap
and
fucking
just starts bewailing on.
He's like, that's not who
him
I am.
And
that's not what I'm supposed to be.
Yeah, and I love both characters. And that moment was such that moment gave me goosebumps. Even though Civil War is not my favorite book of all time. But that moment did give me goosebumps because I love both characters. And right there, it drew the line of why I like both characters. I like both characters because of the moment that they oppose each other. Because at any given moment, one person can be one or the other, right? Depending on the situation. But like these characters, because their characters are them always.
Because cops, a lot of the time, especially when they abuse their power, act more like the Punisher than Cap.
Okay, so that was gonna be not that I disagree with your like.
I mean, that's a very general statement.
No.
I'm talking specifically about the instances where they abuse their power.
I was gonna agree with that.
Right.
I was saying, like, not that I specifically agree or disagree with like how you were premising this or whatever, but I do agree with okay, so I don't think it's. Okay, so more of the reason that I think it is, it's not that Cap is one thing or Punisher is even one thing or another. I think it's just fear. And like, cops know that Punisher is badass and is something that people fear more than the Captain America shield. So So
So you think it ties into how, because that's a part of what police rely on.
I think
They
it's a
rely
culture
on
of fear, and
yeah.
so I think because they rely on that culture of fear, that that or it just is the culture, right? Like, especially if I'm a bad guy, like, I am going to be fearful of the cops. It's just,
You don't want to go to jail.
I don't want to go to
Right,
jail.
yeah.
So I'm not trying to say bad cops are all cops,
Right.
I like police officers, but yeah, I'm not like defund the police, like all that stuff is really weird. But I do disagree and do find it alarming if a police officer slaps a Punisher logo on his cop car.
Well, there's
That's
some
alarming.
There are some police stations that have incorporated the Punisher logo into their emblem.
Yeah,
You
that's
know,
alarming.
That's wrong.
That's wrong
That's
and
wrong,
alarming
yeah.
because it's just not. That's
Like,
totally
yeah,
against your thing.
Are you guys cowboys all of a
Yeah,
sudden?
yeah,
Like, are
right.
you guys not following any sort of rules? The guy you're emulating
Follows no
here,
rules.
He doesn't. He's a
Yeah, he
he's
has
a
no
vigilante.
rules. Yeah,
He's
and the like the extreme of what that is.
Yeah.
So like I disagree with Batman, and we've debated about that before. Like the no kill rule.
Yeah.
I think that's ridiculous. Like I think when it comes to someone, if we're gonna sit here and scream about how bad and how evil and how like Joker is probably one of the most evil beings that ever existed, we've killed lesser people and thought it was right that weren't the most craziest maniacal person that has ever existed. So it would only make sense that if given the chance to eliminate this evil from the earth, that you would do it, right? And so, especially if you're Batman who goes to that battle every freaking day, you know? So, but he's the extreme of that code, right? He's the extreme of the no kill.
the code, which for the record,
He's subscribed to.
for Batman.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I understand.
Yes.
And subscribe to.
Yes,
because
yes.
that's needed.
Right,
you
right,
need
right.
that. But like we were talking about balance earlier.
Yes,
You
yes,
need
yes.
the Punisher to exist.
Yes.
And you need Batman to exist.
You
to
need
have
them to
that
exist.
dichotomy and that discussion of what is right. How do we handle this?
Because why? Because comics are modern myths.
They are.
They're not people. So these people, like Frank Castle, it represents a character, Frank Castle, in his own belief systems, right? And so that's why they need to exist, and I do agree with that. Even though we can disagree with Batman or agree with whatever, I do agree that they both need to exist because comics are our modern myths.
Yeah.
Meaning that's where we draw or can draw lessons from, right? They're like the Aesop fables of our modern time.
Yeah.
So, or the Don Quixote of our modern time, right? The Hercules of our modern time is like Spider-Man, Silver Surfer, like etc., right? And so
The Jesus.
yeah.
Yeah.
So exactly. The Muhammad.
They have
whatever.
that same
They have the same
impact,
kind of
yeah.
aura, the same kind of impact. So you need both to exist, just like you have in the Bible. You have God and the devil.
Yeah.
You need both to exist, and the reason being is because you need that discussion.
Yeah.
You need the discussion of why the cops shouldn't have a Punisher logo
Right,
on.
yeah,
We
exactly.
need this discussion.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But this discussion only exists if we've read the books.
Mm-hmm.
So we read the books, and now we understand why a cop shouldn't have a Punisher logo on his cop car. If you haven't read the books, then you're just subscribing to the fear that the logo induces.
Yeah.
And that is not what a police officer should be doing. It shouldn't be inducing fear on its citizens.
No.
You should be inducing safety, like the feeling of safety.
Yeah.
And
You have to
that's-
be there because you're a part of the
A guardian.
of the
guardian, a
the
protector.
community.
Yeah,
you have to be a part of it. You can't be the
against
overseer.
it. Yeah. No, and not even though just against it.
Mm-hmm.
Like Punisher. Even though I like the Punisher, and again because he's entertaining, he lies on the outsides of society.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
No,
like
yeah.
he's outside of what society like if we had a village.
Yeah.
He would be an outside, even if he was part of the village. When you start just offing people outside of the system that we've all agreed to, you're an outsider now. You're like something that's causing chaos outside of that system that we all kind of adhere to.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So again, I like Punisher. I think he's badass.
Yeah.
And he kills bad guys.
I love the Punisher.
You love the Punisher.
I love the Punisher because the Punisher in of itself is a cautionary tale.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's the result of And I think this is why a lot of soldiers respond and use the logo in battle is because he is the tale of what happens when the system leaves you behind.
Yes, exactly.
You know? So for these guys, appropriating it, and they're part of the system.
Yeah, right.
It's literally
they went through it.
It's a hypocrisy.
Yeah.
You know, it stops being what it is. You know, when these enforcers of the system that leave soldiers behind start using that shit. I'm not trying to downplay what cops do and everything. They are important to society.
Right.
But there are so many other instances of cops that's not their end goal. You know, that's not what they do. You know?
No, it's not. Their end goal, they're not there. Okay. If I'm talking to the police officers out there, what logo is that skull logo? Name it for me. What for? Who is it? From where?
Right.
From where?
The Punisher.
Okay, say that again.
The Punisher.
Okay, one more time.
The Punisher.
The Punisher.
Yeah.
Punisher. You're not a Punisher, dude.
Yeah.
Like you're not. That's not your duty. That's not your responsibility. You are a guardian, a protector, a server. Like that's why a shield makes sense.
Yeah.
And that's actually why Captain America has a shield. Because he says, like, I'm the shield against evil. I am not like a Punisher. I am not an assassin. I am like, sure, I'll kill, like Captain America has killed before, but like he's a soldier.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? He's a soldier. But and even being a soldier who would more subscribe to the Punisher logo than a police officer. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like Captain America would make sense having all of a sudden being like, yeah, because you know he's like, I kind of agree with you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But even he doesn't, because he embodies the shield. You know what I mean? He embodies the shield of America, the protection of America. And if I saw cop cars, the assurance, if I saw a cop car with Captain America shield, I'd be like, that cop gets it.
Yeah.
That cop, like, I'm not scared now. If I saw a Punisher logo, I'd be scared.
Yeah.
If I saw a Captain America shield on a cop car, I'd be scared for bad guys, because I'd be like, that cop takes so much pride that he's like, I'm Captain America.
Right.
So like, I love the guys that are doing good, like Captain America.
Right.
And I hate the people that come to do damage, you know? Punisher just hates, you know? Like, he's filled with hate.
Figure.
He's a tragic figure that just hates.
Yeah.
So, and his logo, again, is meant to induce fear. He said so, you know? He wants it white and black so people see him coming, similar to Moon Knight, you know? I want to be white versus black, like Batman's black, because I want my villains to see me coming when I come. I'm not afraid, you know what I mean? I want them to be afraid that I'm not afraid, you know?
Yeah.
That's the Punisher's thing.
Yeah.
Captain America is, you know, not like Spider-Man, not like Batman, but because he's a soldier, he'll kill, but he is a protector. He embodies the shield.
And he's also an inspiration.
He's also an inspiration.
The Punisher
is not
he shouldn't be.
He shouldn't.
He should not be.
That's what I'm saying is alarming if he's inspiring protectors.
Cops.
Because his title says it all.
Yeah.
I love the Punisher. I think he's badass, but the title says it all. And the Punisher is what? The Punisher. Police officers are officers. They're police officers to police, not to punish.
Yeah.
They're policing us. They're not punishing us. And if you think you are punishing us, then
you got to get out of there.
We need to get out of that system,
there.
dude.
Yeah.
You get it all wrong from the beginning, from the start,
Yeah.
right? Like from the very essence of what it is, you have it all wrong, dude.
But we kind of know people like that who in our lives, we all know people who want to be cops. Shouldn't be cops.
Yeah, right.
You know,
right,
it's
right.
the kinds of the kinds of people who would see the name The Punisher and see Guardian.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, exactly.
You know, and
exactly.
that's
so
what I think
weird.
is happening with a lot of these people.
Yeah.
It's just like, bro, what do you think it is?
You're
Like,
not
do
a
you not
Punisher.
know what it is?
Yeah,
you know?
exactly. I mean, there are few people, a handful of people actually that are trying to become cops that I know that are like, okay, you like. I think like if they were to ask me about the person, I would be like, you're cool, you're chill,
right?
You know, like that's cool. I would be down with you being. You don't seem like an unreasonable. And you don't seem like you were uncool and now you want to have authority and you don't seem like one of those people. And there's probably like 4 or 5 people I know trying to become cops that are like that. But I do know like a few. I think like 2 people that I've talked to that are like thinking about being cops, and I'm like, maybe not, dude.
Just chill.
Like just chill a little bit, because like, you know, cops have, I think, one of the hardest jobs on planet Earth. Like you think about it. You're like, if I'm on school grounds and I'm a security guard, I'll get called for things and this and that, and it doesn't, maybe a door needs to be unlocked, like whatever. If I'm a police officer, like, I'm getting called only every day. So when I'm brushing my teeth to go become a police officer for that day, I know already when I'm brushing my teeth and getting up, I know that day's shift is gonna be a poop shift.
Yeah.
I know it because that's my job, is to deal with the poop of society. Like, literally only get calls after calls after calls after calls, never ending, until you get jaded. Like, you see only the bad of society. So like the cops that don't get jaded and don't, stay Captain America about it, like
Miracle.
a miracle.
That's a miracle.
It's literally a miracle because I don't know how much training these guys get. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, and they're just tossed out there to deal with the poop of society.
Yeah.
Everyone's poop.
Yeah.
We get to go to the movies. We get to go to do whatever. Cops do too. Whatever,
of course,
obviously.
yeah.
But I'm saying, like, at our job, we get to go to our job and then be like, oh, I wonder how today's gonna work. They don't wonder. They know it's gonna be crap for hours. And
It's a crazy
nuts.
job, man. Crazy
It's
system.
nuts.
I know someone who actually, he tried being a cop. He did the training, or he was interested in becoming a cop.
I see.
And went forward to a certain point
Cool.
until he looked at not only the job but also the systemic issues that make it a corrupt system.
I see.
And he's just like, I'm gonna just be. Cool.
I'm
He
gonna
knew well enough to be like, I'm not doing this.
Yeah,
I can't.
right.
No,
I can't
I'm not the person to
become
do
to it.
this.
Yeah, I can't
I'm not the
become
one.
it. Yeah.
People have to understand that they are not the one. We got pretty heated
Yeah,
with
we
the
got
politics.
we got
to.
into it. Yeah, we got.
They're trying to bring that shit into our world.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
into the comic world.
Yeah.
Get out.
Let's talk about it.
Get out.
Get the fuck.
Yeah, no.
If we can end it on any term, be decent.
There you go.
Be decent.
Cost $0.
Exactly. Guys, thank you so much for tolerating comics with us. Daniel, I appreciate you helping me out with this podcast. Is there any place that the people can find you?
Yeah, definitely on TikTok and on Instagram. The Movie Fool.
The Movie Fool.
It's that simple, and you'll see me.
All right, cool. Daniel, thanks so much. Have a great rest of your night.
You too.
And yeah,
Thank you.
bye-bye.